Hi, my name is Calum and I've been helping brands with email marketing full time for just over 2 years now. Since about August 2022, I've worked on over 75 e-commerce direct to consumer brands and I've helped to drive over $30 million in revenue. So first, I'm just going to bring you through a very quick overview on what to expect in this course. So what we're going to be covering is deliverability, segmentation, flows, campaigns, and lead generation. I'll give you a quick overview of everything that's in there. So if there is a point that you want to skip to that's of high priority to you right now, you can go right there. So deliverability is going to be the first part we look at. We are then going to be looking at still deliverability here, excuse me. There's going to be a work through guide here for you as well with some KPIs to meet for yourself. We're then going to look at segmentation. Here's a quick overview at the core segments we need. And I'm also going to show you how to build them in Klaviyo so that you don't need to worry about it. Flows, we're going to walk you through all the core flows you want and even some bonus flows that I would recommend. You might want to add. So there's going to be your welcome flow, abandoned checkout, browse abandonment, post-purchase, replenishment, obviously depending on your niche, but we can talk more about that inside that step, and then your VIP flow as well. With that, we are also going to give you a full work through and playbook. That's going to be fully downloadable for yourselves. And then campaign ideas and frequency. Again, we're going to be giving you 22 ideas here that you can implement for your own brand. I'm going to be giving you a content calendar, so that is really easy to use and track for yourself on a month-to-month basis. That's going to be a fully downloadable doc for yourselves. Then we're going to talk about lead generation. So this is going to be building the pop-up. And again, you're going to get a playbook on how to do everything you need to know in here. So that's a quick introduction and I hope you're looking forward to it. So what we're first going to jump into is deliverability. The reason we're going to cover this first is because it is potentially the most important part of your email marketing journey. Without good deliverability, you can have the best emails in the world, the best lists and the most engaged customers in the world, but if they can't get your message, you're never going to be able to help them convert. So as I'm assuming you're probably quite new to Klaviyo, when you do log into your account, this is what you're going to be greeted with. It's your new sender requirements. These are updates that came in with Google and Yahoo around February, March time of 2024. I'm not going to walk you through exactly what you need to do here because this is constantly evolving, changing and being updated in Klaviyo. But when you do log into your account, this will be on your homepage. And if you just hit these drop down arrows we just saw, that is going to help you get everything you need to get done and it's going to walk you through it inside Klaviyo. One thing you're going to want to focus on straight away as well, I know you're probably new to your Klaviyo journey and your email marketing journey. You might at this stage want to be sending your campaigns to your whole list and everyone who's ever subscribed. But that is a really bad decision to start with and it's really not what we want to do. So when you start sending emails, you're going to want to send to a really highly engaged list. We will cover this more in segmentation, but just to keep as a mental note straight away, if you do want to email people who have been active on your site and purchased within 30 days to start with. That's going to let us know where we are in terms of deliverability, in terms of how engaged your list is to start with. You do not want to start straight away emailing your whole list, lapsed customers, people who may have even unsubscribed if you're taking a list over from MailChimp or some sort of other list, just in case it hasn't spoke to each other. You're going to want to definitely not dive in with doing that right away. But you might be wondering what are the KPIs you want to focus on and improving. Work off as you start your email marketing journey, because if you do all these things right from the get-go, you're never going to have to worry about getting out of spam or out of the promotions tab. So I won't walk you through all this because it is very boring and you don't need me to read a list to you. I'm sure you are all super capable of going through this in your own time. But this covers absolutely everything you need to know, from segmentation, how to divide your list, what kind of lists we want to be emailing, what kind of engagement to look for, bonus tips on how to actually reward and incentivize your customers to reply to your emails and boost your deliverability inside of the Google and the Yahoo workspaces. Then your workflows, so your sending volumes. One thing you want to make sure you do right away, you might want to be really testing different days from the start, but we have found kind of weekdays work really good, but sticking to a consistent time. This of course isn't to say that you never change this around. Of course you want to test different things from time to time, but for the most part, if you can find some consistency within your sending, the major inboxes seem to like that. It seems to seem a little bit more regular. And then also you're going to want to mix in plain text emails and designed emails, and then the KPIs to monitor, which is probably the most important part here. You always want to be having open rates of over 30%. You ideally want to have click rates of over 0.5%. You want a deliverability rate of 97% plus. You want a bounce rate of less than 1% and a spam rate of less than 0.03%, and same for your unsubscribe rate. So if you're sending emails and you're finding you aren't meeting these metrics, you're going to want to build the engaged segment that we walk through in the segmentation step, and you're going to want to be emailing that list, and or if not smaller, until you can reach these kind of metrics and these KPIs. So yeah, that's all for this step. You can download this, and again, if you're viewing this in the school community or you're seeing this online, don't ever be afraid to shoot me over a question and ask for any help, and I can help you get to that straight away. Next up, we have segmentation. So what we're going to be covering here is the lists that you want to send your campaigns to. Quickly, if you are thinking you have a list that you want to upload, you might have it from a trade show, your point of sale sales at your store, anything along those lines where you have an actual list like an Excel file or a Google sheet, that can be uploaded as a list. But a segment is going to be something that's pulled on triggers or something that's happened on your site or within your emails or your sales. So what I'm going to do now quickly is jump into a Klaviyo account and live show you how to build these segments. But for the most part, just know you're always going to be sending to your engaged, your VIP, or your win back opportunities. And a lot of this, for the most part, VIP and win back, that can be really tailored to what you want and what you feel like you want to do or what you may want to test for your own business. So let's jump into that right now. Just quickly want to preface this with, again, if you ever do have any questions about a segment you want to pull, you want to build, please do feel free to reach out and ask me that question, and I'm more than happy to help you straight away. So guys, in terms of building our segments, what we're going to want to do when we come over into our Klaviyo account here is we're going to want to, let's pretend like these are all closed, as this might be what you're seeing. So you're going to want to come into the account from the home page. You're going to want to click down on your audiences and your lists and segments. So just like we talked about previously, if you want to upload a list, that's just going to be a static list of profiles that you already have. It already exists somewhere. You can just go in there and then upload a CSV or whatever way you have that downloaded. But if we are going to be building our own segments, we want to come into here. So you can name these segments anything you like. So let's go with a 30-day engaged here and pretend this is what we're going to send our first campaign to, as this is typically something we would want to do. But again, as we saw here previously, you might want to just do it for buyers. But we're going to show you everything you can build in here, and this can be, you can cast a really wide net here, or you can get super granular and super in the details. It's really simple though, guys, so don't get overwhelmed or stressed with this. As you can see as you walk through, if you just take it nice and slowly, super easy. So what we're going to typically want to do here is what someone has or has not done. So for an engaged list, we're going to want to go with someone who has been active on site at least once in the last 30 days. And then we want to come down here to this and or condition. So it's really important. For the most part, you're typically going to be building or lists. If you do and, you'll see that your lists will typically end up being quite small. But what else we're going to want to include for an engaged list, if we're already sending emails, so if you already have a Klaviyo account, or once you've started to send, we also want to include people who have opened emails at least once in the last amount of time. And then we're also going to want to go with people who have placed orders. Obviously, this account I'm using isn't connected to a Shopify, but you can get tons of Shopify triggers in here. So you can even look at people who have refunded orders, cancelled orders, anything along those lines. You can get really deep here. But for the most part, this is what you're going to want to be looking at for your engaged segment. So once you've created this segment, that's perfect. You just press create segment up here in the top right corner. You give that a second, and that will then be created for you. And then let's just give this a second here. So we can see, yeah, this is now just queued in progress, no problem. But if we wanted to go in straight away then and make our 60-day, 90-day, we would simply just clone this segment. Don't worry about the name for now. And then we could say, okay, I also want to make a 90-day engaged segment because I want to start casting a wider net once my deliverability, KPIs, and metrics are in the right place. And super easy, so on and so forth. You can go in and make this for all of your engaged segments. Something else we spoke about was the VIP. So depending on your brand, typically seeing this class around a 3 to 5 time buyer orders. So what we're going to do is placed order is at least 3 times or 5 times. Let's just say 5 for now. And you can say in the last overall. So you can see, like, you know, a lot of these details. You can get super deep on them, cast as wide or short of a net as you want, like I said, and do some really good targeted campaigns to your customers. And then the last one we spoke about a little bit was win back. So for this, again, we're going to want to keep the kind of engaged segment part up here, and then we're going to want to just go into down here. So someone who's been active on site, someone who's opened an email, and then we're going to want to say, okay, someone who has placed an order at least one time, and let's say they've done that in the last 180 days. Oh, excuse me. So someone who's placed an order in the last 180 days, and then we're going to, for this part, we're going to say and, but someone who has not placed an order, at least once in the last 90 days, but they're still engaging with the brand in this they're still engaging with the brand in this last 90-day period. So this win back one is going to be really good if you want to run a potential sale, but you don't want to give it to your customers who you think will be buying at any chance to get a sale. If it's a product clearance, if it's a pretty much anything you want to. You don't want to really do new drops to these guys specifically, but you might want to do a new drop with a discount to try win back some of those customers. But that pretty much covers all the core segments that you're going to want to see for your campaigns. So if you do have any questions, again, like I said, any segments you want to pull, anything you're not sure of, shoot me a message and I'm more than happy to help. Guys, now we're going to be jumping into flows. Flows are probably going to be one of the highest leverage tasks you can focus on once you have your deliverability set up for many, many reasons that we are now going to cover. Flows are basically all of your behavior-based triggers to re-engage your customers at any point of sale. So the reason they're so important, especially once you've just set up your deliverability, is you're going to be emailing all of your highest engaged customers at the exact right time that they want to hear from you. So it is one, going to be great for getting you maximum conversions, but two, great for boosting your deliverability because like I said, we're going to be working with those engaged people. So what we're going to do now quickly is run through all of these flows that I want you to get set up in the next 2 to 4 weeks. Set yourself a timeline with this. You can always perfect your flows, you can always make them better, you can always A/B test something to get a little bit more out of them. But the main thing is getting something live straight away so you can see what's working, what isn't working. It's going to give you a great insight into what will work for your campaigns, but it's also just going to help your brand make easily an extra 10 to 15% on the bottom line each month if these are done correctly. Once we've walked through the flows, I'm going to be giving you as well this guide and this doc that you can walk through and keep for yourself. But like I said, the flows we're going to be walking through for now are going to be the welcome flow, abandon checkout, browse abandonment, post-purchase, replenishment, and VIP. Again, guys, for the triggers, I'm not going to walk you through what to exactly do inside the Klaviyo account here because when you go into Klaviyo, once you click into the flows section, it's going to prompt you to build these out anyway. So it's all done for you there, and some of this stuff is constantly changing, so we'll just be adding a little bit of extra confusion here where it's not necessary. But if when you do go to build your flows you find you can't figure something out, again, I'm always happy to help. That's what we're here to do. So now jumping into flows. So like I said, flows are your behavior-based messages. Without these set up in 2024, you're leaving huge amounts of money on the table. The way I would look at flows is it's like running ads before having your meta pixel set up. Flows are going to be your best chance at retargeting those highest engaged customers. So for the most part, these are a one-time setup fee. You can add new A/B tests, new iterations, but you need your flow set up in 2024 or you're just simply not serious about having a scalable and profitable business. So what we're going to want to do now is click into the stock. Just give me 1 second. So back with you now. So yeah, these flows are going to be all your essential flows for having a 7 and 8 figure successful brand. But again, these are still super, super important for a 6-figure brand also. This is just a screenshot taken from an account that we worked on in 2023. So as you can see here, tons of revenue being generated. I think it was about $907,000 from their flows alone in 2023. So I think this store had about 20 to 22% potentially of their total revenue coming from flows, which is absolutely insane. So first of all, your welcome flow. This is going to be for your new subscribers. Well-designed welcome flow is essential for converting new customers. This is your chance to bring every individual who signs up through a customer journey so they now know you. So it's a great time to educate your customers and push for that first-time buyer. So again, what I'm going to walk through here, I know there's 6 examples in here. I don't want everyone to wait until they've made all 6 emails to launch these flows. You can get these flows live right away, even with your welcome plus your discount. Get that live from day one so that you start to collect that revenue and start to collect that data and also boost your deliverability. But here is, I'm going to walk through good ideas that you could include for all of these flows and examples. But again, just want to reiterate, you don't need to overcomplicate this. You don't need 6, 7, 8 emails in every flow from the get-go. It's definitely something you can work towards as time goes on. So welcome plus your discount offer, your reviews, maybe some bestsellers, meet the founders message. This is a great one to test with plain text. Reminder of the discount, and then last chance to use that discount that you've given them to become a new first-time buyer. Next, we're going to be working with the abandoned checkout flow. So this is obviously for reclaiming lost customers. These customers are your warmest leads. They're right at the purchasing point. They've shown clear buying intent. So we just want to get them over the line in any way we can. Where a lot of brands go wrong with their abandonment flows is thinking that the only buyer's remorse a customer may have is a discount. So they'll go 10% off, 15% off, 20% off, 25% off plus free shipping. Depending on your AOV, your customers may want to know a lot more about befores and afters, results, size guides, reviews, and then maybe being reminded. A plain text from the founders again. So obviously you might be looking at this thinking, I'm a supplement brand. Of course I don't have a size guide, but you do have some before and afters. Or you're a shoe brand, and of course you don't have some results of someone wearing your shoes. So you might use a size guide here. So just think about this a little bit critically. And again, like I've been saying, if you do need help with anything, if you do need someone to skeleton out your flows, I'm more than happy for you to book in a call, take 15-20 minutes. Like I said, we've helped over 75 brands set up their flows at this stage, so I have a pretty good idea of what works for different niches, sub niches, and everything going on there. But for the abandoned checkouts, we're going to want to go reminders, before and afters, results, size guides, reviews, remind them about the discount, plain text from vendor. Then you might look at sending the last email as a flash sale discount and then a flash sale discount expiry. This is more so if you want to go from 10% off to 15%, you do want to do that scale discount. If you found trying to remove all the buyer's remorse in this more holistic way hasn't worked, you might want to give them a last shot out there. But again, this depends on your brand, your business, and your margins. Browse abandonment. This is customers, and you can tie this into your site abandonment as well. More or less the same thing. But your browse abandonment is someone who's been on the site but they haven't added anything specifically to their basket. So we're going to want to be more general here. So we're going to want to look at reminders, befores and afters, size guides, reviews, similar products, plain text from the founder, flash sale, and flash sale discount expiry. Next is going to be the post purchase, and I would really recommend splitting this into a post purchase repeat buyer if you're a business that does have a natural higher repeat purchase rate, and you just want to say, not just thank you for buying, but thank you for buying again, for being a repeat purchase customer. Within the post purchase as well, you might ask, hey, is there anything else you need? Then you can send a what to expect email, especially if you have slightly longer shipping times or you may be a drop shipping store. This can really bring down that cancellations and that refunds. Just keeping people in the loop of what to get and what to expect. And then you might want to do a review or a UGC request, especially if you want to tie that into the back of an offer. Potentially, if you give us a piece of UGC, you'll get 50% off your next order, or you can get a free product up to X value. Again, you can play around with this, you can have fun with this, you can ask me to jump on a call and brainstorm some ideas with you. More than happy to help. Your VIP flow, this is something we talked about in the segments section. So, if someone's bought potentially 3 or 5 times, you might want to give them a little discount, a little thank you, welcome them to a VIP list and be like, hey, just so you know, when it comes to Black Friday, new product launches, regular sales, we're going to let you guys know 48 hours before. I would also really recommend that. It just gives people, that sense of community, being appreciated for spending money with you. Obviously, there's so much competition in the online D2C space nowadays that if you can really make someone part of the community, it's going to really, really help you in the long run. And then if you've given them a VIP offer here, typically a slightly higher discount than what you usually give in your welcome flow or abandoned carts, and then just reminding them about that. And then replenishment, again, if you sell shoes, this might not be so relevant, but if you're in the health, supplement, beauty space, depending on when you're typically seeing repeat buyers, you might want to set up a flow just to target that a little bit more. So let's say you have a skincare product that typically runs out within 30 to 45 days, around that timeline, we want to ask, hey, are you running low? Hey, did you enjoy the product? Do you want to leave a review? Do you need to reorder? If you have a subscription model, it might be time to share that with the customer. And then if you want to give them an offer to come back in, maybe 10% off, maybe 10% off plus free gift, maybe free shipping, and then an offer expiry. But once you have these flows set up, guys, that is going to be probably 85 to 90% of what actually comes from your Klaviyo flows. So getting these done, getting them done well, but also most importantly, just getting something live right away, and you can iterate as you go. Any questions on all of the flows, please do ask me. Happy to help anyone. But with this stock, you should be really covered and really sound to get started. So next we're going to be jumping into campaigns. So what we're going to be running through here is some ideas and also some frequency in which you can send your campaigns. So straight away, I'm going to cover 22 campaign ideas that you can use. So for these examples, this will also be linked, by the way, so you are completely free to take this and use these as you like. Just full transparency, these are not designed to be done. These are from top brands in the D2C space, and I've given about 3 examples from each type of campaign as well, so you have loads to work off for yourself and your team. So what you can do is product education emails. You can look at tips and tricks emails, product benefit emails. These are always great. You can look at bestsellers. Again, these are great to implement, especially at the start of each month. It's a great way to push a lot of products at a full price. You can do an us versus them, really strong. You can also include these in your flows. You can do promotional emails, obviously, so that's going to be your Black Fridays, your discounts, your flash sales, etc. You can do expert features. You can do a problem any solution, really big for people in the health and beauty space. You can do subscription benefits, again, great for people in the beauty and health space. Product launches. Product launches are amazing. We spoke about the VIP list, potentially an unengaged list. So if you want to give these guys an offer for being loyal or for trying to win them back, great way to do it. You can get early access. This is even for, boosting that engaged list. You can do a reply to opt-in also to get early access to a list, but this is really good for things like Black Friday or new promotions if you want to even push them to a separate landing page just to build a little bit more hype. You can do product spotlights. This is great for your hero products, obviously. FAQs, again, another great one to include in your flows. Customer results, so your befores and afters, again, amazing for campaigns and for your flows. Customer reviews, really good. A gift guide, great for, like you can see here, Mother's Day. You can do sign up for text. Really useful and beneficial, especially if you're in the US where SMS is a little bit more affordable. Still not the best around the rest of the world yet, but hopefully something we're all working towards. How to use a product. You can do myth debunks. We have from the founder messages. These also work really well and really nice as plain text emails. Back in stocks, again, great way to push sales, build a little bit of hype, nearly like a product launch in some sense. And then you can repurpose blog content. So that is just 22 ideas to get you started with, but there is so much more that you can do. You can take so much of these sections and put them into subsections. For example, like just sales, if you want to do, say, your t-shirts on sale or your creatines are on sale. You can get super creative here, but there's so much you can do. Next thing we're going to want to jump into is the content calendar, and this is how you're going to stay consistent. This is how you're going to plan, and this is also free for everyone to download and take for themselves. So if you do want to go in here and you want to go file and you can make a copy, that's fine. You just want to copy it to your own board or your own Google Sheets account. From there, then, like I said, you want to leave this bottom sheet blank. You want to duplicate, and then let's just call this October 24. So we can see that October starts on a Tuesday. So what we're going to want to do up here is just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And once we've updated that top line and we click, then the rest of the board is updated. Obviously, October has 31 days. So we can just delete these, and then we can, we can delete these as well as such, and then boom, we have October 2024. So now in terms of our frequency, I find for the most part a lot of brands can get away with and really get the most out of sending 2 campaigns a week, 3 potentially if we are in a new product launch, Black Friday, or another big promotional period that might be big for your brand, e.g. a brand's birthday or a time that you just have a big sale running. But you can get a lot out of running 2 campaigns a week. Obviously, test dates are different days, but if you're doing 2 weeks, something we have found really, really successful is going with like a Tuesday and a Friday. So you kind of avoid that Monday slump, get your customers on a Tuesday, get them reading, and then Friday, this is going to be a typical pay cycle. But people might also want to be treating themselves for the weekend, have something to look forward to the following week. So these are two really, really good days to send on, but of course, different for every brand. So test this out for yourself and see what works. Okay, guys, and now last but certainly not least, we're going to be talking about the pop up in Klaviyo and how to optimize your pop up, what you can get from it, where to build it, and what a good pop up looks like, what a good welcome flow email one looks like, because that is hugely tied to your pop up. And this is going to be showing you the results you get from having a bad pop up and bad welcome flow email one versus a good pop up and good welcome flow email one. So, I'm going to keep this quick and concise, guys, and wrap this up so you can get into building your Klaviyo account and start seeing some of the results and progress that you want from your email marketing efforts. So again, in your Klaviyo account, you're just going to want to be on the homepage. From there, super easy. If you just go to sign up forms and then you want to create a sign up form, Klaviyo has a bunch of examples, design templates that you can use here for yourself. Something I want to say straight away, you might think, no, obviously this one doesn't look the coolest, but you might see some big brands that you like using images in their pop-up. This actually just slows down and delays the load time and the load speed for the pop-up on your site. Obviously, speed on your site is so important, especially if you're driving a ton of traffic there from ads. You don't want anything that slows down the website. So our biggest tip is to always use plain text, and this pre-commitment here, really, really good. It's something we've been doing for pretty much all of our clients now, and it's seen a huge dramatic improvement in the sign-up rates we're getting, and it isn't slowing down the sites of our clients at all. So really, really important. We're going to jump into another Gamma app like we've used for some of the previous examples for flows and whatnot. So this is just quickly to show you what a bad pop-up looks like and a bad welcome email one. Now 4.45% really isn't that bad, but we really like to strive for anywhere from 6 to 10% plus for our clients. For example, we have a new client we literally just brought on 48 hours ago, and they are already converting at about 7%, which is insane. If you could get that traffic converting consistently, you can see how much more valuable your ad spend becomes and how much more retargeting you can do. So anyway, from here, main numbers we want to focus on, because we're going to look at how much better this can be and why we want to just aim for great straight away. So we have about a 4% sign up rate and about a 3.3% conversion rate. Now we're going to look at what is happening for one of our clients, and again, you can see this is over a 30-day window, so this is insane. But we're getting a 13.7% sign up rate and a 8.6% conversion rate. Now that is an absolutely amazing, huge difference. And this is what we want to get all you guys doing straight away from the get-go. We don't want you going from bad to good. We just want you going from good to great. And as you can see, just like we spoke about, having a plain text pre-commitment pop-up has been absolutely huge from us. Once you're in there, you just want to get the ability to put your email in and be converting straight away. From there, in the first email of the welcome flow, straight away, and this is something you want to keep consistent and concise for all of your emails. You will have seen it in all the examples we shared, but you always want to have your call to action right at the top of the email. So what a lot of people do is they'll focus more on what potentially looks a bit nicer, a little bit prettier, and putting in this design first, and then the call to action lower in the email. But we always want to have the call to action straight away so the customer can be converted. Again, I'm not going to read you through all of this. You're going to have this document, so take your time to go through this. But this is what a bad pop-up looks like. So, you come in, join the community of blah, 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 out of your other people. You have images in there that really isn't even that strong. And then you have this really small, tiny call to action button that isn't as easy to see versus, what we have here, shop now and save 10%. You're telling customers, okay, this is why you signed up. Here's your discount, get in, use it, versus just, oh, welcome to the community, shop now. You're not being reminded, you're not being incentivized, even though this offer is actually stronger. It's 20% off with this code, versus this is 10% off with this code. So it's doing so much better. But the bit I will read you through, because I want you to understand how important it is. Both brands had to pay for about 2,800 profiles to see their account. So if we look We took a pop-up, where about 2.8k submits had came in from both pages, but one took 63,000 views, one took 20,000 views. So think about the difference in ad spend to drive 20,000 people to your website versus 63,000 people to your website. That is already 3x the cost. So from there, the optimized profile is 200% more efficient. Then we look at the conversions by simply changing where the call to action button is and reminding them of the offer within the call to action. One had a a place order rate of about 3%. One had a place order rate of about 2.6%. So what's that? 150% better, 200% better. All in all, if we look, we had 250% more signups. That is 8,631 new leads versus 2,800. If we had the same amount of traffic, if we compared this over the same amount of time, if we converted these new leads at 8.6%, we would have had an extra 742 new buyers. The average order value on this product is about £30. So that would have been an extra £22,260 as opposed to what they made, which was £3,370. So that's a 550% increase. So as you can see, what we spoke about here are some really small minor tips, but it is so important to nail your pop-up and nail your welcome email one, but also for all your emails, keep that optimization practice in mind where you want to have the call to action above the fold and your offers presented immediately right away every single time. But guys, that wraps up the mini course. If you have any questions, please do shoot me over any questions. I'm more than happy to help with anything. Bye now.